Welcome to the 13 spooky reviews in 13 spooky days. But I almost terrified you yesterday with a theory as the first day. I wanted to make a theory on why Batman's parents were shot and he wasn't. Go watch that video for the spooky beginning to these reviews. But as you can tell, some things have happened. We have added lights, but they're a little too high for you to see. But that is alright, for I know you are still terrified by this year's theme of Pokemon. On today's review will be Mr. Sinister from the Marvel Legends, X-Men Wendigo Wave. Now, he comes with an arm to Wendigo, which now makes Rodimus, the narrator, have 3 of the parts of Wendigo, and has painted the nails black, like his soul. I promise I won't continue this voice for the rest of the review, but here is the vampire, the mutant, Mr. Sinister. Hey everybody, Rodimus2099 here. Today with the 13 spooky reviews and 13 spooky days, we'll be reviewing Mr. Sinister, as the narrator, who's not me, said. Now, Mr. Sinister is part of the Wendigo Wave. He is one of the X-Men's most popular and my favorite villain from the X-Men. I just like him better than any other villain. He's just way cooler, way more menacing, and seems more of a threat than just a guy who can move stuff with his mind. I really do like this figure because it has so much good articulation for such a big body. Usually, especially with the Thanos Build-A-Figure, you find bigger bodies means less articulation and less good articulation, which I don't like. I don't like having to sacrifice articulation for a good, strong look. This guy really works well with that. And his cape, I mean, some people were saying, like, how would they do that? It has to be like this. I do like how they did it. It doesn't feel too plastic capey. It doesn't feel like Prowler's cape, which I hate. It's abysmal. This feels more of a cape that I can actually kind of enjoy, for just its genuine look and purpose. I love it. I love this cape. I don't really like how it kind of deceives you into thinking it's a brand new mold, where it's not. This body has been used before, and it will be used again. I know it will. The face looks fantastic. The genuine stature of him is fantastic. The hands look great. I love this hand, and I love how this hand is sort of open. You can get some kind of poses where he's like... and I like that idea. I like that a lot. But, going over articulation, because that's of course what we do here. Can look down, bury his chin, and since he has a hood thingy on Doctor Strange, poof, and especially since it's accentuated, he cannot bend backwards, but he could get 360, but really can't. He has hinges, rotations, double joints, hinges, rotations, ab crunch, swivel, which is actually way lower than I thought. I always thought it was here, but it's way down here. Then there's ball joints, swivels, double joints, ankle pivots, and secret boot cut. And this just a lot of articulation. And some of it is definitely unneeded, but I really like it. And then the cape, if you don't know what I mean, it's done into 2 forms. There's the bottom half, then this half, and they sort of overline, making a very menacing look. Now let's compare him to another figure in this wave that I never reviewed. I don't know why. I really like this figure, but I want to review her so bad, but I can't, because she's not spooky. It's Boom Boom. I gotta admit, this figure's just on fire. Go pick her up. She's so cool. Such good articulation for a female figure, and definitely expect her in some X-Men stop motions. And, of course, the whole Wendigo Build-A-Figure is pretty cool. The whole wave has been really good. but I haven't got a figure that people have said is really bad. Kaboom! But I can't wait for all those figures. And I'm glad that I was able to pick this one up. I thought that he would be something that just flew off the shelf, because Mr. Sinister is such a cool character, and actually, if you haven't had time to read his backstory, read it. It's cool. Variant Comics did a whole video on it. Check that out. Check the whole Variant Comics channel out. They're awesome with their upload schedule, their reviews. They actually reviewed the whole Wendigo series, which I'm surprised about. So, what do I give this guy? I give him an A-. Yes, I'm going to be rating figures now. No, I'm not. Because a figure is only as good as you think it is. And only as good as you want it to be. Now, I definitely wasn't expecting this guy to be the whole 9 yards. I wasn't expecting it to be my next favorite figure. But it really did surpass my expectations. I was like, alright, I'm buying the look. Not the articulation. Not anything else. When you're gonna buy a MCU Iron Man, you're buying it for the look. You're buying it to look like Iron Man. Or same with like Nick Fury. You want a Nick Fury that you need just the look. But really with this figure, you get the articulation that you don't expect. There was a couple times where I was posing him around, I'm like, oh, he has that articulation. And that was a really bad voice crack, which I'm so sorry that you had to sit through that. Now, I think that his cape is just magnificent. It's amazing and posing. Just overall, a great figure that I would really recommend to anyone who wants to pick up a new Halloween figure, or just an X-Men villain. Because X-Men has such cool villains that really they only focused on one in the whole movie series. And then they sort of focused on another one, the Sentinels, but really didn't. I mean, you can admit, the whole villain throughout the X-Men movies are not the cool ones. They're not the best one, which is Mr. Sinister. He had such a cool arc, especially with him kind of being tied to Apocalypse. That could be a really cool MCU moment when you find out that Mr. Sinister is tied to Apocalypse. So, thank you all for watching. I have been Rodimus2099. I really want to go on about this figure, but there's just so much that I could say, but it's just rehashing. I gotta admit, there's one thing that made this figure, when I saw him, I'm like, I gotta buy him. It's not the body. The body, I was sort of like, hey, you know what, that looks like Mr. Sinister, enough. I'll get him. It's the face. The face is just terrifyingly cool that you see it and you think that's Mr. Sinister. I can't see anyone else kind of in that look. And especially to look as good as he does. I applaud Hasbro for making such a good figure in sort of a 1, 2, 3 figure good wave. There's not too many great figures in this wave. There's not too many exciting ones. But they really pulled it off with him. I feel that he is the crown jewel of it. Especially since I'm not gonna buy Night. What's your name? This guy. Nightcrawler. That's his name. I'm not gonna buy the Nightcrawler. I already have a really good one that I only paid $2 for, so why pay for one that has less articulation than him? It doesn't really look like him. Where I could just keep one I'm happy with. Especially since I'm not that big of a Nightcrawler fan, so... if you need to pick up a new figure, and you need to pick it up from this Wendigo wave, pick up this guy first. No matter which way you're gonna buy the Wendigo series, you probably will buy them all if you need Wendigo. Buy this guy. He's a fantastic figure who I really love. I think he's just amazing. And, I just love him. He's so cool. There's so much more I could say about him, but it'll just be all rehashed to you guys. I thank you all for watching these spooky reviews. I'm sorry if this one kind of came out a little later. Again, I have a fake account, which is just subscribe to me. Actually, wait, no, that's my friend's account. My friend, he has an account. He doesn't really watch that much YouTube, but he said, sure, I'll subscribe and follow you. I turn on notifications. I get notifications way too late for my own videos, so you probably don't see these right at 5. I try to make them at 5 and post them at 5, but of course sometimes that won't happen. I thank you all for watching these spooky reviews. And I thank you all for staying tuned, for being the fans that you are, for commenting, for talking to me. If you want anything to be changed, I'm going to move these lights down here so that you can see them. And it's just gonna happen. And other stuff will change around this whole thing. More stuff will be added. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you want me to, I'll break down this whole shot and show everything, all the little drawings, all the little jokes, all the little stuff if you want. But, of course, I don't have to if you don't need me to. So, I thank you all for watching. I hope I can see you tomorrow with another spooky review when we review a spooky anti-hero named Spookiness Spooky. I can't say his name because if I do, then it's kind of spoiler. But you'll see. And then the day after, it'll be something different. Not the same guy from a different company. I promise. You probably know who it is already. It's Juggernaut. Anyway, bye.